6:01, I call the meeting to order. My name is Jimmy Tarr. I'm Assistant Plan Chair. Stephanie is out with a new baby. To my right is Doug Finn, John Jeffries to the left, Lee Bell to the far left. Is there anybody for public forum? Nope, then we'll close public forum. Approval of the minutes. Anybody read all the minutes and approved?
The only thing I note is I do remember that I was late to this meeting,
Right.
but it doesn't say actually when I arrived. My name appears about halfway down the first page,
Okay.
but I don't have a problem approving these as they are.
Okay.
I put members present. Yeah, I would amend the members present.
Or put something in the minutes to say
When you arrived.
when I arrived.
Okay.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the discussion.
Provided that can be added, I would move to approve the minutes as presented.
And we've done approve with this.
You what?
We've done approved minutes with this amendment or approve as amended.
Approve with the amendment. Yeah, there you go.
I second that.
All right, motion.
Any
to approve.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right.
All in favor, passes. That's the minutes. Okay. Board
Okay.
discussions, updates from the assistant planner, Isabella Yeager.
Okay, good news. We got the DLTA grant that we wanted.
How much was that for?
$15,000. We have not gotten the letter of commitment from PVCC yet, which will outline the timeline of our obligations and the deliverables, but we do know that the $15,000 is supposed to include staffing support for the implementation committee meetings to get those off the ground. We're supposed to nominate who to represent us on that committee at this meeting. But for some other background, the select board has approved the town admin and then a choice of one DPW staff member for voting members. And then the select board, the planning board, the school committee, and the finance committee are supposed to each recommend one or more members. And then there are 3 at-large positions that are meant to focus on historic preservation, open space, agriculture, or a combination of all 3. John Pease has been accepted to the committee. So we should pick someone from amongst us to be the rep.
Anybody volunteering?
Did we voluntold somebody last meeting? I think we saw was
Somebody
somebody
wasn't-
raised their head.
I
Doug
think
and Stephanie both said they would not mind doing it, but we didn't.
It would not be
Decide.
fair to nominate Stephanie.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, she's right. She's
Although
right
it is
at-
a New England tradition to
Of
put the guy
course.
who's not there to work. But
Well, then I would like to nominate Doug for that position.
Oh,
He's
man.
Best
You
suited.
interested?
I will.
I don't know,
accept
Doug,
it.
we're
did
working
say
a lot
he
of
would do
stuff on his.
I'm
We
okay
make
with
a
it.
motion
I think
for
you just did.
Doug to,
I make a motion that Doug be our representative to the Comprehensive Plan Implementation Committee.
God, so much decision making. We are making.
is there a second to that motion?
Second, I'll second. If he will
Any
stand.
discussion?
Thank you, Doug.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You always lean on us if
I
you
will
need.
abstain,
Okay,
just for
that's fine.
fairness, but I'm happy to do it.
All right. So Doug is our person.
Okay.
If they'll have it,
Check.
you know, they can still.
Okay.
There's to
I'll
be some
have it, yeah.
vetting.
Right. It may show up to 1 or 2 meetings, you'll get a note saying, can you pick someone else?
Okay. I think that's all of it.
There's just
Do we
a
have
couple
mo-
other
you have more
things
stuff?
I want to tell you.
Okay, great.
Not done with the
The
updates.
Habitat for Humanity situation, I'm not sure if we talked about this at all at the last meeting, I don't remember, but 72 West Street
Oh.
was discussed with Habitat. This may have been between meetings. They're kind of looking for warehouse space with like an office. And this property has a barn on it and then there's a house.
Uh-huh.
And the long and short of it is they were kind of trying to figure out whether, even though it's in residential zoning, they could retrofit the barn to be warehouse space and then have their office operating out of the house. And there's not really any way to do that. And so Stephanie and Habitat went back and forth about what that would entail, a zoning change. And they ultimately decided to put in an offer for the land to try to just do a residential thing. And their offer was not accepted.
Was not accepted.
Right.
Wow.
I don't really know why.
Do we know who owns the property?
Was this just south of Brusco's?
What?
Is it just south of Brusco's? I'm trying to figure out where it is.
72.
The White House and the barn next to it that's been for sale for a while.
It's Joseph
sold and then went
Peltier.
Yeah.
They had some funny complaints. They thought it was overpriced for the amount of noise that they noticed on the property. It is between the 5 and 10 and 91, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Mhm.
bunch of houses around there, and
Right.
you know. And then Stephanie drafted a letter of support for them, which they had requested because they're trying to get state funding for some kind of warehouse development thing that they want to do. And so she did draft that letter and recommended that maybe they look at leasing from Myers, but I think they only get the funding if they own the land that they
Uh-huh.
are building the warehouse on. So it was a valiant effort, but I think maybe it didn't work out this time. That was happening. And then I'm attending the Citizen Planner Collaborative Conference on March 15th. I'm going to a few sessions, including one about the Community One Stop for Growth, which is like a grant application portal. There are applications for that. It's basically, it's like a portal for 12 community housing focused economic development programs, and all those grants are due on June 4th. And so I'll go to that session, I'll learn more about it, and then I'll probably analyze like the planning board priorities and the comprehensive plan and see what makes sense for that grant.
Okay.
One of
Let
the
you know.
priorities we've been talking about, and something that grant program might be able to help fund,
Mhm.
is a reassessment and revision of the zoning map. And
Oh, cool.
because several of the grants that are available through the One Stop are for planning.
Right.
And if we can get a grant for a significant amount of money to hire a consultant to assist in that process and to keep
Totally.
track of things, that would be a huge benefit.
Right.
And that would also kickstart that process.
Uh-huh.
Totally. You're
So-
talking about the actual rezoning following like the zoning diagnostic that PVPC
Yeah.
is going to do.
Yeah, zoning,
the whole new
PVPC is doing the
wetlands.
zoning diagnostic. This grant you won't hear about until August or September, so it almost would fall right in line.
Perfect.
And I believe most of the time you get about 2 years to expend the funds.
Yeah.
So that's a
great.
pretty good timeline too.
Perfect.
So
On that note, Andrew and I are going to start putting together materials for the new housing production plan, and we will update you about how that's going. It's supposed to happen by like October, so
sounds good.
going to get cracking on that. And then, yeah, I don't know if this is of interest to you. It's not really planning related, but it overlaps with a lot of other permitting stuff. So on Thursday, I'm meeting with a guy who's writing a grant for Hatfield and Hadley and a couple of other neighboring farm communities about inventorying, mapping, and permitting the ag ditch situation.
Yeah, that's
and then
huge.
getting it like permitting so that we can maintain either as a town or that private contractors can do it. It's so complicated. And so that seems relevant to a lot of different entities in town.
Mhm.
I'll fill you in on how that's going if you want.
Sounds good.
That's it? Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Amazing. Okay. Congrats, Stephanie.
Oh,
Anybody,
yeah, don't
anybody
forget
else?
to-
The board wishes to extend their congratulations.
Yes.
to Stephanie's successful
Best
I can't remember
wishes.
what the new
delivery.
Mazel tov.
I think it's Josephine,
Josephine.
Josephine.
Yeah.
I believe.
Joe Liz.
Anybody else got anything?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Adjourn at 6:10.
You did it, Doug.
We didn't start till 6:01.
Yeah.